What up, what up, what up? It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ, and this is NFT Drafters. The future of fantasy sports is here right now, and I got some sneaky sleepers this week, some power plays, some guys that are a lock. These guys are going to be going under the radar, and they should be a lock this week. So I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get right into it. So today we're talking about some guys that are sneaky sleepers that are going under the radar. Not many people are talking about them. So first up, I want to start with Mike Davis versus the Jets. It's a London game, so therefore there could be some jet lag, some players playing a little slow, etc., etc. But Mike Davis has the matchup. All stars are aligning for him to have a great matchup this week against the Jets, being that the Jets are number 2 in fantasy points per game to running backs, averaging 25 points given up to the running back unit. Mike Davis still that lead back there. I'm not too worried about Cordell Patterson taking touches because Mike Davis still leads in touches per game, still leads in red zone touches as well. So therefore, his running back position is locked. So also worth mentioning that Mike Davis right now is ranked 9th in running back targets, and actually the Jets are number 2 in receiving yards given up to running backs as well. And they're also 3rd when it comes to rushing touchdowns allowed by running backs as well. So these matchups like this is a lock for guys like Mike Davis, for being that he's going under the radar. Not many people are too fond of him. He's not like the sexiest play this like every week. I'll just say that. But this week is a must play. He's a lock for me. So Mike Davis is the sneaky sleeper out there who can end up having a very good game. Next up, this should be a no-brainer. He keeps getting disrespected. Marvin Jones for the Jacksonville Jaguars, wide receiver number 1. Now, yes, the Titans this week, it's definitely a great matchup right now. Titans are number 1, giving up fantasy points per game allowed to wide receivers. They're also number 1 to wide receivers that are able to find the end zone. So a lot of guys have been scoring on the Titans defense when it comes to the red zone. And look at Marvin Jones. He's the number 1 wide receiver there, leading them in targets and red zone targets as well. DJ Chark is out of the picture. He's going to miss some time. So Marvin Jones, already being the stud that he is, already the number 1 wide receiver and already the number 1 target in the red zone, he's bound to find the end zone. So he's a clear lock. A lot of people are sleeping on Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars when it comes to fantasy because we're not seeing them win games. That's fine. It's a whole different era when it comes to fantasy in real life. Marvin Jones is a stud. This matchup is a lock this week. I definitely find Marvin Jones putting up big points this week. Now, next up, for the last but certainly not least, now tight ends are a little hit or miss. There's guys that you're probably going to be pulling in and out, week to week, streaming basically, but I like AlieCox this week, being that he put up 2 touchdowns last week, and I definitely think he's a nice play this week against the Ravens, who've been very friendly when it comes to fantasy points for tight ends. Now, I understand he's splitting time with Jack Doyle, the number 1 Colts tight end, but I definitely think AlieCox is the sleeper play this week, being that he holds the lead in red zone targets on the Colts. So I definitely believe that, AlieCox will find his way in the end zone this week against a Ravens defense that's given up a touchdown to Noah Fant, Darren Waller, Travis Kelce. So 3 out of the 4 last matchups, there's been a tight end to find the end zone on that Ravens defense. And I think AlieCox, coming off of a 2 touchdown last week, I definitely think he's coming in with confidence. Maybe Carson Wentz will try to get something gelling. Maybe that chemistry will build where we can see a lot more red zone looks from AlieCox, being that he's a big body target. He deserves those targets. And like I said, targets are earned. So therefore, I understand Jack Doyle and him are splitting that time. But when it comes to the red zone, it's a AlieCox show. So that wraps up this episode of Sneaky Sleepers on NFT Drafters. Make sure you guys check out the website. Get your cards. Get them going. Fantasy football, fantasy sports in general is changing. This is the future of fantasy sports. So make sure you guys are on board. Be able to catch this wave now. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow on Twitter, NFT Drafters. And of course, follow me, your boy LQ, on Real Deal Fantasy HQ on all social media platforms. I'm talking MySpace. I'm talking Tumblr. I'm kidding. But still, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm there. Definitely find me on YouTube as well. Peace.